Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nadanja Bailey. I'm going to be your host for tonight, and I want to just welcome you to the 56th Annual PLP Delegates Conference. We are live here on Court Street at Alaska Hall. If you're home watching, I'm pretty sure you're home cooking, getting ready for tomorrow. We're hungry here as well, so if you're cooking something nice, be sure to stop by. We're at 16 Court Street. 16 is the big green building right on the corner, right across from where our fish hut used to be. Right about now, without wasting any time, the Delegates Conference starts today, and it's going to run right until Saturday. So follow the PLP Facebook page, get in touch with us, and we'll let you know what's going on. At this time, I'm going to call on Dr. Ernest Peets. He is the Minister of Community Affairs and Sport, to do our opening prayer.
Good evening to our Premer, our elected leaders, and our delegates. Let's pray. Father God, in times of great need, we as Bermudians have always turned to prayer to help us, to guide us through our trials, and especially during periods of uncertainty. Father God, as we continue to face the unique challenges posed by the coronavirus, as we deal with violence in our streets, we gather tonight believing in our sweet hour of prayer. Tonight we ask for added wisdom, comfort, strength to continue the good governance of our country, and we also pray for unity and desire to serve so that young and old, none is left behind. We especially pray for our elected leaders and our branches whose outreach benefits our community. Lord, we ask that you bless our delegates conference, that in doing so we all will involve ourselves in your high calling with love and with self-sacrifice. We pray all these things in Jesus' name. Let us all say amen. Our creed, PLP, all the way, PLP. God bless you.
Greetings, delegates, members, supporters, sponsors, and friends. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you to the 56th Annual Delegates Conference for the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party. While the current climate is not favorable for us to meet in person, we are encouraged by the virtual participation of the delegates, the support provided by sponsors. COVID-19 has distinctly changed the way we do business, as well as the way we associate with colleagues, friends, and family. It has brought us to the reality of our virtual conference, and I am more than grateful for your support. We may not have the in-person camaraderie that we are accustomed to. Our resilience has been tested, but we are here nonetheless as the work of the party must carry on. In order for the PLP to do better and be better, it is up to us. In the last CC I attended, I encouraged us to show love and be kind to one another, and our island home community certainly needs this now. Our theme is Get Involved. I would like to encourage you to consider that you are the PLP's most precious resource. If you are a member, you contribute to the work and legacy of the PLP. If you are a supporter, you provide valuable feedback. And you can become a member too and become a part of the change that you want to see. One of the reasons I had the opportunity to serve the PLP in various ways was through the support of my family, the example of my mother and father. We think we have it hard. Imagine 7 children, 5 different PTAs, 3 different churches, working for the PLP. They didn't let disagreement in the way things were done being done stopped them from doing their part. When the bank called my father's mortgage, he didn't stop the work for the PLP. He worked harder. My mother was a great cook, committed community support, and caring person, and she gave her all in that capacity to the PLP and the community. Our house was the neighborhood youth center. I give those examples because sometimes we let obstacles get in our way from giving our all. Just imagine if you are the best at what you do and you contribute your time and talent to the PLP, we could be even more effective. Even if outside forces try to stop us, even if inside forces try to stop us, we must keep on giving our all. It is time to step up and get involved. For some of us, we've been around and working for a long time, and we would like to step back and give someone else a chance. Before you do that, train your replacement. When talking to my son regarding cryptocurrency, I explained to him that when I went away to business school to train to be a secretary, we used a typewriter. We progressed to word processors, and now we have computers. The need for accuracy in using the typewriter is not lost when using a computer. It helps me to use the computer more efficiently. The point I am making is that there is value in everything and everyone. The ADC committee has worked hard to organize the conference. Tomorrow we will start our business sessions that will include something for everyone. This will require us to be patient, listen, disagree without being disagreeable. For this closing portion, I want us to internalize this. I am using I because I want you to internalize this. We would like for our attitude for this ADC to be, what I have to say is important, and so does my fellow delegate. I have a skill set that the PLP needs, and I will raise my hand and come forward. There is something new for me to learn, and there is something for me to teach. I may be right, but it doesn't mean that I can be rude. My positive attitude will rub off on someone else. When I am happy, it will spread to those around me. I will be respectful, cordial, and kind. When this evening is done, I will say, I have been a supporter, and now it's time for me to become a member. When this conference is done, our members will say, I will get involved because I am the greatest resource that the PLP has, and I have something to offer. Thank you, and enjoy the program we have for you tonight.
Didn't know today would be our last, or that I'd have to say goodbye to you so fast. I'm so numb I can't feel anymore. I'm praying you just walk back through that door and tell me that I was only dreaming. You're not really gone as long I believe there will be another angel around the throne tonight. Your love lives on inside of me, and I will hold on tight. It's not my place to question, only God knows why. I'm just jealous of the angels around the throne tonight. Always made my troubles feel so small, and you were always there to catch me when I'd fall. In a world where heroes come and go, well, God just took the only one I know. So I'll hold you as close as I can, longing for the day when I see your face again. But until
I think what's special about the Future Leaders program is that it is really making these young people think. It's raising their awareness around human rights, which I think is a critical thing. It's also raising their awareness to their history and where they come from. It's empowering them to become their own people and to have their own independent thoughts, which I think is extremely important as they move forward into university and go on to their careers, because it's not going to be rote learning that is going to hold them in place. It's going to be that ability to question and to dig a little deeper around a lot of subjects so that they can really truly feel that they understand a problem that's put in front of them. And it doesn't have to just be something around a social justice or racial justice issue. It can be a much broader problem where they realize that in order to understand a problem, they've really got to dig deeper and look to go to more stakeholders to find out the true story.
Paradise. I call it paradise. This is where I live. This is my home. And in Bermuda, we have a lot of great bands. We have a lot of great duos. But tonight, we are going to be entertained by the Paradise Duo. Please enjoy.
Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. The world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Another day goes by, still the children cry. Want the world to know, please don't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. The world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide your guide.
Put a little love in your heart,
And the world will be a better place. The world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart.
You've got to
put a little love in your heart.
Don't let the children cry.
Put a little love in your heart.
Don't let another day go by.
Put a little love in your heart.
Put a little love in your
Put
heart.
a little love in your heart.
Don't let the children cry.
Put a little love in your heart.
Windreach is so excited to be able to share with you who we are and what we do. For more than 22 years, we've been inspiring, empowering, and enriching the lives of individuals living with disabilities. You may ask, how do we do this? We do this through a person-centered approach, engaging individuals in our life skills program, our adult day program, our therapeutic riding program, as well as our environmental education program. Currently, we engage over 200 individuals per week across our programs. We would love for you to get involved through volunteerism, also through small or large financial donations. Please visit us. Visit us at www.windreach.bm or give us a call on 238-2469, 238-2469. Also, be sure to follow us at Windreach Bermuda on all social media platforms.
You have people who will support you through thick and thin, follow you, do whatever you do, they're right there behind you. We're talking about none other than our fallen comrade, Sister Laverne Furbett. Sister Furbett was a community activist, a union supporter, senator, and the right hand to Dame Lois Brown Evans and Al Frederick Wade. She will surely be missed by all, and we've put together a nice video to show you. Enjoy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you give a little more than you take, and if you try to fix more than you break, if you're the kind who takes the time to help a stranger in the rain, there's a place for people like you. If you stand up for those down on their knees and lend a voice to those who cannot speak, if you shine a little light, give sight to the ones who've lost their way, there's a place for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like you. If you walk around with your heart on your sleeve, and if you're trying to be the change you want to see, if you lay down your life for love so someone could be saved, get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like you. Streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, yeah, there's a place up there for people like you. So keep doing what you do, 'cause there's a place up there for people like you. Out of many, one people we are. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you give a little more than you take, and if you try to fix more than you break, if you're the kind who takes the time to help a stranger in the rain, there's a place for people like you. If you stand up for those down on their knees and lend a voice to those who cannot speak, if you shine a little light, give sight to the ones who've lost their way, there's a place for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like you. If you walk around with your heart on your sleeve, and if you're trying to be the change you want to see, if you lay down your life for love so someone could be saved, there's a place for people like you.
Good evening. When I was asked to speak on this year's topic, Get Involved, naturally I had to ask myself, what is involvement? At first, I reached for the dictionary definition, but I had to question further. What does it actually mean in the context of our society? And perhaps more significantly, what does it mean for the next generation, our youth? Now, I'm not going to stand here and pretend to be the spokesperson for all of Bermuda's youth, nor will I represent that my short address will capture the layered and unique culture that Bermuda's young people have. What I will say is that Bermuda's young people, from what I've seen, are some of the most capable and vocal in the world. When I returned home in 2012, I remember being able to witness some of the most passionate debates at Berkeley on political issues. As a kid who grew up with either politics or gospel music in the background, I was inspired and felt at home around the bold Berkeleyites, each giving reasoned opinions on Bermuda's political landscape, both past and present. In 2017, while I was home working on the first national youth policy, I saw that this trend that I had seen in Berkeley continued. Bermuda's young people had a desire to be involved, but a disinterest in the drama and fodder that often comes with politics. They wanted answers to their well thought out questions. And this was evidenced when youth activist groups began creating a platform for young voices, hosting forums and debates for youth. I myself witnessed the powerful opinions and heart of the youth here at Alaska Hall, where the PLP hosted a youth event. Young people, when given the chance to take the mic, voiced their concerns on issues ranging from scholarship funding to our aging population. This was only rivaled when in 2019, the Premer visited London and hosted an event for students and young Bermudians working in the country. Again, I saw young Bermudians, only this time living abroad, ask questions about what Bermuda could do for them and vice versa. This event was followed by the emergence of more grassroots organizations and charities that aim to promote youth engagement and participations in all areas of civic life between 2019 and 2020. Joined most recently, of course, by the Black Lives Matter protest seen last year in global solidarity for members of the African diaspora and a local demand for change here in Bermuda. I highlighted these examples because they show an exciting and hopeful perspective of where the young people are. When engaged and encouraged, time and time again, Bermuda's youth will step up to the challenge of building and strengthening this country for the future. But don't just take recent history. Many of our greatest leaders and change agents made significant strides in their youth. For example, Dame Jennifer Smith began her illustrious career in politics in her teens. And the Progressive Group was made of young people, college graduates, when they initiated the theater boycott. So how do we encourage a continuation of today's momentum and help promote young people to make a lasting impact like our heroes that came before? It seems cliche, but we all have to listen, give them a seat at the table, and let them get to work. And while they're at the table, and while we're listening, we must engage in discourse that will move us forward. What I have seen over the past decade, from high school through to law school and working abroad, and now to present day working here in Bermuda, is that we have a consistently interested youth. So let's just make sure that we capitalize on this and that we don't leave it until election season, sending the message that they are only useful for votes when our young people bring so much more. The true danger is that if we don't engage them, we will lose them. I know of several of my peers who have gone on to create lives in England, the United States, and Canada with no intentions of returning. Equally as heartbreaking is losing our young people on our own shores to disenfranchisement and antisocial behavior. It's on all of us to make sure we do not forsake our youth and that we do our part. As the Bible says, you have to train a child up in the way they will go. So let's step up and let's get to work. We need to bring our creative, industrious, passionate, bold, and progressive youths into the picture and let them know that there is a place for them in politics. And even more importantly, there is a place for them and a space for them to make a difference in their own home country. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is David Bridges. I represent the Kiwanis Clubs of Bermuda. I am currently the president of the St. George's branch. We have two branches here in the island. One is St. George, and the second one is Hamilton. We are a charitable organization that we fundraise for children throughout Bermuda. We do many fundraisers to support the families throughout the island. We do one child, one home, one community at a time. We look forward to joining with the PLP in bettering our communities. How can you get involved? By joining the Kiwanis Clubs of Bermuda. For more information, contact us at kiwanians.org, Bermuda.
We are still here at Alaska Hall. I hope you guys enjoyed those videos. If you're still home cooking, I'm still here waiting. The address again is 16 Court Street. I like whatever you got. Put some gravy on it. Yeah, that's how I like my macaroni and cheese, a little gravy on the vegetables too. Ladies and gentlemen, right about now, we're gonna have one of my good friends, excuse me, come and bless us with his voice. This guy has shown a lot of courage over the years, and he is at his strongest, in my opinion, through what he does musically. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together, sit back, relax, enjoy my good friend, Mr. Jesse Swaggy Seymor.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank the PLP for having me. I want to welcome everybody to the annual Delegates Conference. And I'm here to bring y'all some good vibes, whether you're at home, wherever you are, if you're watching. So let's do it. Yeah. Da da. Whoa, whoa. Well, my friends, the time has come. Raise the roof and have some fun. Though waiting work to be done. Let the music play on, play on, play on, play on. Everybody sing, everybody dance. Lose yourself in wild romance. We're going to party, Garama, fiesta forever. Come on and sing along. We're going to party, Garama, fiesta forever. Come on and sing my song all night long, all night, all night long, all night, all night long, all night, all night long. Whoa. People dancing all in the streets, see the rhythm all in their feet. Life is good, wild and sweet. Let the music play on, play on, play on, play on. Feel it in
in your heart and feel it in your soul. Let the music take control. We're going to party, Garama, fiesta forever. Come on and sing my song all night long, all night long, all night long, all night long. Whoa. Once you get started, you can't sit down. Come join the fun, it's a merry-go-round. Everyone's dancing their troubles away. Come join our party, see how we play. Yeah. We're gonna have a good time, let's do it. Hey, hey. Somebody dancing them all, yeah. Yeah, jumbo, jumbo, where the party oh we go. Oh, jambola, tamboli, dancing them all, yeah. Yeah, jumbo, jumbo. Oh, yeah, we're gonna have a party all night long, all night long, all night long, all night long. Oh, all night, 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 all night. Oh, everyone you meet, they're dancing in the street all night long. Yeah, I said, everyone you meet, they're dancing in the street all night long. Whoa, feel good, feel good. All night, all night, all night, all night, oh, all night, all night, all night, all night, oh.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
The Eliza Doolittle Society, or TEDS, is a registered charity founded in 2002. Our mission is to provide healthy and nutritious solutions to the food insecure in Bermuda with the aim of enhancing their quality of life. TEDS provides assistance directly to clients through our food pantry in Warwick. Clients receive a bag or bags of groceries once per week based on the size of their household. We are open Tuesdays through Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 12:30. Support of our food pantry operations is our greatest need and will enable us to continue to serve our clients. So we gratefully accept both financial and food donations. We also partner with companies to organize employee volunteer days and welcome individuals who may wish to volunteer their time to pack bags, assist with intake and administration. To learn more, please visit our website at the ElizaDoolittleSociety.bm or contact the Executive Director, Claire Mello, at 333-4483.
Our next speaker is no stranger to us all. Tonight, we're going to hear from Senator Ariana Hudson. Senator Hudson is Junior Minister for Labor, Finance, and Health. She's the granddaughter of Arthur Hudson and the great niece to the late Dr. Eva Hudson. Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Ariana Hudson.
Good evening, delegates, members, party executive, caucus members, and the Bermuda public. I want to begin by thanking the Annual Delegates Conference Committee for extending the invitation to contribute on the opening night of this year's conference. I am honored to be one of two Arianas speaking to you this evening. The theme for this year's conference is getting involved, and I thought I'd begin by telling you all about how I managed to get involved. To be completely honest, I spent a good bit of time running from the political arena. I had zero interest, or so I thought. After spending about 6 years working in both the public and private sectors, I was growing increasingly frustrated and knew that I needed something more. I needed to try something different. I had been listening to an evening press conference when I heard the Minister of Finance call for interested young people to join the COVID-19 Economic Advisory Subcommittee. I wasn't sure how young or if I was even considered young, but I had sent an email that same evening. 2 months later, I, along with 5 other young Bermudians of the advisory subcommittee, were presenting in front of the cabinet. You never know the qualities that people see in you, so you could imagine my shock when soon after the announcement of the 2020 general election, I was asked by a party member to consider running as a candidate for the PLP. The key is that I did not say no. And a few days later, after meeting with the party leader, I found myself on this stage in Alaska Hall being rolled out as the PLP candidate for Constituency 23, Paget West. Now, how is that for getting involved? Beyond the fact that the world had recently flipped upside down, I had no idea that things would change so drastically so quickly. I had made a move that shifted the mindset of so many young persons around me. Of course, there were some people who had negative things to say, but each mean word was overshadowed by the love and support I received from family, friends, and even complete strangers. In September 2020, I told myself that if at any point it wasn't going particularly well, that I could simply walk away. In the days following the election, I would joke that I didn't know what I had gotten myself into. Today, the days are a lot longer, and I still don't know what I've gotten myself into. But I wouldn't trade this opportunity to be involved in the important work that the PLP government is doing for the people of Bermuda. In this past year, I have learned a lot about service, and if I ever begin to forget, I can always count on our Premier or Senator Darrell to remind me of our why. When we serve, we look outside of ourselves, beyond our own problems, and seek to bring value to others. This is why, after months of criticism and calls for resignation, we continue to show up, ready and willing to do what needs to be done to support our Bermudian people. The work of our founders is not complete. They had a dream for us to motivate our young people to pick up the torch and move our party forward. We must educate our youth about our past, teach them the importance of community, and show them that it is better to be a part of the solution than part of the problem. We have to revisit our aims of politically educating the youth of Bermuda, encouraging their active participation in the community, in political service, and in the government. We must also go the extra mile to provide space to discuss the matters that affect our country and our people. There is work for each of us to do, and I believe that after a rough 22 months, each and every one of us should feel compelled to do a bit more and get involved. Dame Lois Brown Evans, she would have wanted us to value people regardless of their background, and to know that ordinary people can bring about extraordinary change. Dame Jennifer Smith, she would have wanted us to be persistent and to turn our voices into action. Former Premier Paula Cox, she would want us to show up and show out and do so with elegance and grace. Former Minister Nalitha Butterfield, she would want us to not only believe in ourselves, but also help others to see their potential. She'd also urge us to trust our ability to learn, change, and improve as individuals. Former Minister Renee Webb, she would want you to be your most authentic self. She'd want you to be strong, tenacious, and unapologetically outspoken. Then there's my Aunt Laverne Ferbert. She would have had a lot to say, and regardless of your opinion, would have wanted you to stand firm in your convictions. My Aunt Eva Hudson, she would have wanted you to honor your legacy and pay homage to those who came before you. She would have wanted you to pick a cause and get involved. My daughter, your sons, our children, they are all relying on us to get involved. They are counting on us to create a legacy that inspires others to do more and dream bigger. They need us to invest in their futures by implementing policies that protect the family unit, policies that protect our communities and resources and advance our position as a people. When I think about my personal responsibility to our community, I think about the many women who came before me. Over the past year, I've been trying to formulate a tangible template of what female leadership should look like, particularly in Bermuda and within our party. I've always found it amazing to watch the energy shift as women take up space. In closing, I want to thank our leader, Premier David Burt, who constantly challenges me to figure it out. This past year has been anything but easy, and I admire your passion and commitment to moving our country forward and building a better future for our children. I want to thank my colleagues, those women and men who have supported me in my first year, those who call to check in, those who celebrate my wins, and those who remind me that women really can do it all. I also want to acknowledge the hard work and dedication of all those who work behind the scenes. To the members of this great party, there would be no PLP without you. You are the mechanism that keeps this party moving forward. To our supporters, thank you for always standing strong with us, even when times get hard. After the year we've all had, your support means the world to all of us. If you've tuned in this evening, you know that this is your time to do that one thing you've always dreamed of doing. Join that team, that committee, maybe even join the PLP. Get involved. Trust me, you'll figure the rest out as you progress. Thank you.
If you want to know how to get involved, basically what I see, I live in Warwick. I don't know where you live, but in Warwick, every PLP candidate, minister is out in Warwick in full force. I see it on a regular basis. So how do you get involved? If you pass by and see a PLP member sitting off, just stop by and ask them what's going on. How can you help and get involved? We have a short video for you to also follow up with what I just said. Thank you.
As we know, all children deserve to grow up healthy and whole, and protecting them from sexual abuse gives them that chance. SCAR's mission is to reduce the risk of child sexual abuse in our community and be an advocate and voice for children who've been sexually molested, as well as their affected family. The work of SCAR's is to educate our parents, caregivers, and those working with children on how to protect them from harm, because child sexual abuse is preventable. The more adults we educate and make aware, the more children we save. When a child is abused, it will cause an emotional wound. And when we save children from harm, we contribute to healthier families and a healthy Bermuda. SCARS supports the community by offering free prevention education to every adult in our community. Our Darkness to Light Stewards of Children curriculum is a 3-hour certified virtual training which teaches adults how to recognize, prevent, and react responsibly to sexual abuse. This training is offered to all of our schools, our camps, our clubs, churches, sporting organizations, and any other entity responsible for children. We raise funds so there is no cost to participants. SCARS has educated 11,000 adults in our community. If you haven't been SCARS certified, please help us reach our goal of 50,000 by signing up for a SCARS training through our website, scarsbermuda.com. Get trained. Please join us in making sure every child in our community has an opportunity to grow up healthy and whole.
I hope you all at home are enjoying your evening. I am enjoying being here at Alaska Hall live in studio with the 56th Annual Delegates Conference. As you all know, when I'm not here hosting or anything like that, I will always say that I'm a Rastaman. Everybody knows that. I'm a Rastaman. I don't have no dreadlocks, but I'm a Rasta. I'm a real Rasta. I eat meat. I eat cheeseburgers, mayonnaise, and ketchup. You know, what a real Rasta don't do. I'm the other Rasta. Right now, coming to the stage, my good friend, he goes by the name of Live Wires. His name is Mitchell Trott. I call him Mitchell because that's my good friend. He's going to come and bless you with his music. Please enjoy.
Hold on. You got to pull it up. You can stop the music. Yeah. Bless the Almighty some more. Honor your mother and your father some more. Sit, give thanks and praise to the Father some more. More and more, more and more. Yes, Jah, yes, Jah, yes, Jah. Rastafari. My name is Original Live Wires. It's a pleasure. You see, I'm dedicating this performance to my grandmother, Lucy Trott, also my grandfather, Kenneth Manga Mills. Ma Mills, bless up every time, especially my mother, Jeannie Usher. Yeah, play the music. No, please. Turn it up, please. Sweet reggae music, way up. Music, it's sweet reggae music. Thank you, Magic. One thing about sweet reggae music, when it hits you, you feel no pain. One thing about sweet reggae music, when it hits you, you feel no pain. Light up, fill up the dance hall, the dance it up from the window to the wall. Light up, so don't even delay. Now everybody come and sing, say, we sing, say, whoa, yeah, yeah. We on the reggae highway. We play a root track reggae. Rocking you steady in a PLP. Whoa, yeah, yeah. We on the reggae highway. We play a root track reggae. Rocking you steady. Yo, there ain't no doubt about it. I man will have to shout it. Red, gold, and green. I man always will defend it. I love to have a good time with good people, living in positive vibes just like we should. Root music rock you and you feel no pain. Pull up selector, make me hear that one again. Come make me hear that one again. Because it's simple and oh yeah, yeah. We on the reggae highway. We play a root track reggae. Rocking you steady in a PLP. Oh yeah, yeah. We on the reggae highway. We play a root track reggae. Rocking you steady. When you go to the dance, what you do, Burt? Rock and coming now in the DJ is strapping it. Good vibes we bring and there ain't no stopping it. Red, gold and green pon the scene and we're running it. Magic, root music Foundation it well solid. Yo, go tell your family, run, go tell your friends. The reggae highway is headed to the motherland. Striding, bringing genuine feeling. We just a bubble and erupt like a spring. Yeah, yeah. We on the reggae highway. We're playing root track reggae. Rocking you steady. We sing, oh, yeah, yeah. We on the reggae highway. We're playing root track reggae. Rocking you steady. Bermuda, you know what? I love to have a good time with good people, living in positive vibes. I love to have a good time with good people, being with you on the reggae highway. We too at PLP. Yo, reggae highway. Now everybody at home, I want you to come and sing along with me, right? Here we go. 1, 2, sing, whoa, yeah, yeah. I hear you, whoa, yeah, yeah. I said, whoa, yeah, yeah. Whoa, yeah, yeah. It's sweet reggae music. But it's sweet reggae music. Rastafari music. But it's sweet reggae music. You know what? I love to have a good time with good people, living in positive vibes. I love to have a good time with good people, being with you on the reggae highway. Reggae highway. Give thanks and praise to the Most High Creation, I community. See it? My name is Original Live Wires. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here. Thank you very much, PLP. Respect.
Oh yes, that is him. That is my good friend. His name is the original Live Wires. Not original, Rasta. Rastaman, that's me. Ladies and gentlemen, again, tonight has been a fantastic night. We still have more for you. Right about now, we have a young lady coming up. We have the phenomenal video that you're going to watch right now. I apologize. I'm jumping the gun. Listen, I ain't been on stage in a long time. I just want to let loose. But I can't let loose at Alaska Hole. You might not let me back in. Because, you know, I want to walk up and down this stage. But we're going to go to the phenomenal video right now. Thank you.
Phenomenal People's community outreach includes the Dream Girls Club mentoring program that positions young women to dream big dreams and awards scholarships to support them on their way to junior college. The program is for girls 9 through 17 and is held at the Bermuda Youth Library. Our 2 new fatherhood initiatives include a 24/7 dad workshop and chat adventures for dads who desire to improve in their role and to spend quality time with their children. Visit our website, phenomenalpeoplebda.com, for details on how you can get involved. Or email us at info@phenomenalpeoplebda.com, or you can call us at 734-4034. We thank the PLP Delegates Conference for including phenomenal people in the 2021 conference, and we look forward to welcoming your members to our volunteer team. Thank you.
The next voice that you will hear is by a lovely young lady. Had the pleasure of chatting with her. She goes by the name of Miss Kiana Can. She is studying at the Bermuda College right now, and she also spends a lot of time here at Alaska Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker will be Kiana Can.
Good evening. It is an honor to be here at a part of annual Delegates Conference and to introduce our keynote speaker for this evening, the Premer of Bermuda and the leader of the Progressive Labor Party, the Honorable E. David Burt, JP, MP. Premer Burt graduated from Florida Air Academy in Melbourne, Florida, 1996. He then attended George Washington University in Washington, D.C., earning his bachelor's in administration degree with a double major in finance, information, and systems in 2001, and his master in science and information systems development. In 2004, after returning home to Bermuda from the university, he, like many other young people, faced challenges and a lack of opportunity while looking for a job, and he wanted to see change. He joined the PLP that same year and got involved in order to fight for the change he wished to see in his own country. He served as the chairman of the Progressive Labor Party, senator, opposition leader, and in 2017, he became Bermuda's youngest Premer in the history. Throughout his career, he has continued to fight for change as he did when he first entered politics. As a young person in his constituency, I can see how involved he is by having an open clinic once a month and coming by to visit his constituents to hear their concerns. It warmed my heart to see the leader of my country visit my grandparents and taking time out of his schedule to see how they're doing and to discuss their concerns. Premer Burt's story inspired me to get involved, as it showed me that if we wish to see change, we must be willing to work for it. And we should not be afraid to fight for change, no matter how young we are. Without further ado, I present to you our Premier of Bermuda, the Honorable E. David Burt, JP, MP.
Thank you, Kiana, for that incredible introduction and for all of your outstanding work since joining our team. It is always a pleasure to see young Bermudians like yourself getting involved and making a difference. Thank you to our MC for the evening, Nadanja, to our performers, Paradise Duo, Jesse Seymor, and Live Wires, and to Senator Ariana Hodson and Miss Ariana Keynes for their incredible speeches. Our young women have truly left their mark on tonight's event with their powerful contributions. And as we remember our late sister, Laverne Ferbert, I thank the party for putting together that incredible video tribute, which brought tears to my eyes and was a fitting way to honor her incredible legacy. To the delegates, party executive, parliamentarians, members, and supporters of the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party, and to the people of Bermuda, good evening. I welcome you all to the opening night of the 56th Annual Delegates Conference. This year's conference theme, as you have heard, is Get Involved. And tonight, I will speak to our party and to the country about the importance of each of us getting involved in building the future of Bermuda. Before I get to my substantive remarks, my heart goes out to the families who are grieving after yesterday's fatal shooting. Undoubtedly, those who were present and witnessed this violent act have been left traumatized, and I ask for all of us to come together and support those who have been affected. As a community, we have been through so much, and this tragic event is a harsh reminder that outside of the pandemic, there are still issues within our community that we must address together. I encourage anyone with information to cooperate with the Bermuda Police Service in their investigation. This horrific incident only compounded the immense pressure that our hospital and country as a whole are under as we continue to battle against the coronavirus. For our second consecutive year conference, we are meeting virtually. And since I last stood on stage to address you in person 2 years ago, our world has fundamentally changed and our challenges have multiplied. Our children are struggling with disruptions in the school year. Our businesses are persevering but struggling in the aftermath of a tough 2020 and uncertainty over what the future holds. Our hospital and its staff remain stretched, and our healthcare infrastructure remains under pressure. The pandemic has taken its toll on our community. with so many of our brothers and sisters have lost their jobs and some have lost their businesses, resulting in financial responsibilities piling up. The mental health of our island has and continues to be challenged. Our families have had to endure more stress and more anxiety than ever before. This has been compounded by having to balance their job, in many cases alongside helping with their children's schoolwork while the family is at home. Most notably, this pandemic has been a catalyst for sickness, ongoing health challenges, and has snatched many precious lives. I, like many of you, have lost friends to this virus, and my thoughts and prayers remain with all of the families who are mourning the loss of a loved one. And today, we face a new challenge. The United States, our major trading partner, is experiencing rising inflation, which is having a ripple effect right here in Bermuda. Global supply chain challenges mean that prices will increase in the supermarket and in local shops. These rising prices are putting more stress on Bermudian families. As Premier and leader of this great party, I am not oblivious to these realities that our country and our families have experienced. I empathize with every single person who has been impacted by this pandemic. However, I and the leadership of this party recognize that empathy and thoughts are not enough. In order to overcome the economic pain and anxiety brought on by this pandemic and to bring about positive transformational change in our country, it will require difficult choices. It will require a change in how we do things, hard work to execute that change, and it will require everyone to get involved in making the necessary changes a reality. Sharing ideas and being involved in discussions and work of executing those ideas is the only way for us to create the change that we desire and the Bermuda that we wish to live in. In 2004, at the invitation of my next-door neighbor, who was tired of listening to me talk about what I think should change in Bermuda, I joined the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party to play a role in bringing about the change that I wish to see in my island home. As a young Bermudian returning home from university, I was faced with an obstacle that some of our young people still experience today: a lack of opportunity. Despite my qualifications and best efforts, I was unable to find a job in my field of information technology in Bermuda's private sector. I know what it's like to look for work and lose hope, wondering whether your country wants you. I remember contacting 23 different businesses to apply for entry-level positions, management trainee programs, and sending a resume for any possible consideration, all with no success. I still remember my first PLP meeting, 6 months after I returned to Bermuda from university, where I used my voice to put forward my ideas for how immigration policy could work better for young Bermudians, given my experience when I returned home. It is a powerful thing, and that's the reason why I still remember it, as a young person to be able to speak directly to the leader of the country. But at PLP meetings, that is what the PLP is all about: an inclusive grassroots party that allows all members to put forward policies that can change the lives of our neighbors. Today, many of the changes I stood up to share 17 years ago have been implemented. But that did not happen by accident or by blogging on the blog sites of 2004. It happened because I chose to get involved. I did not sit on the sidelines and hope that someone else would use their voice to press for the changes that I felt in my heart were needed for my country's future. What ideas do you have that will improve the lives of Bermudians? What ideas do you have that will make this country fairer and more just for all of its citizens? What ideas for change do you have that will bring about transformational change in our community? The ideas that you have for change must not only be shared, but must be worked on. There must be action alongside words and a desire to see true transformational change for our island home. Whatever the idea is, if you are also willing to fight for it, and if it represents the objectives and principles that we as a Bermuda Progressive Labor Party stand for, of working to promote the political, economic, social, environmental, and cultural progress of the people of Bermuda, we want to hear it and help you make it a reality for your country. The principle instilled in this party and its members by the likes of Walter Robinson, Dr. Paulu Karamakafego, Dame Lois Brown Evans, and L. Frederick Wade, who laid the foundation to make the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party the party of transformation. They built this party that was not afraid to stand up for what was right for the future of our country, even though it was not popular. This party's first election platform in 1963 called for universal health insurance, quality taxpayer-funded public education, unemployment insurance, and more affordable housing. These were not popular policies at the time, but they were the right policies for Bermuda's future. Recently, there are some who may question our commitment to this party's founding principles, but it is clear that we remain true to why the PLP was founded in 1963. Our economic recovery plan will see the successful execution of two key pillars of that platform: universal health insurance and unemployment insurance. Some of the approaches in 2021 may be different than those formulated 58 years ago, but rest assured, this party is firmly rooted in its founding principles of economic and social justice. Since July 2017, when the voters of this country elected this party to again lead Bermuda, we have faced challenge after challenge. Before the pandemic, we nearly eliminated the deficit, while we invested in education, seniors, healthcare, youth, and sporting programs to build up and to uplift our people. The investment made by ensuring anyone, regardless of your financial circumstances, could enroll in Bermuda College to upgrade their skills has paid dividends in new business owners and more Bermudians in skilled jobs. During the pandemic, we provided unprecedented levels of social support to assist Bermudians in making ends meet. Your PLP government provided more than $70 million in unemployment benefits, supported small and medium-sized businesses in meeting their overheads with $12 million, and we opened pensions to early withdrawals, providing Bermudians additional resources to make it through the pandemic-caused economic recession. We also stepped in to provide $11 million in redundancy payments to the former workers of Fairmount Southampton Princess to ensure they were made whole. That is what standing up for the little guy looks like, and that is what the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party is all about. Last year, this government was reelected to make the decisions necessary to see our country through this pandemic, and to also make the difficult decisions required in preparing Bermuda for our future beyond it. Our election platform of rebuilding Bermuda with Bermudians at heart is a plan on how the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party will respond to the calls that we've heard from the people of this country about what they require. After the election, we came together and constructed an economic recovery plan to ensure that the calls of the people of Bermuda would be answered and not simply left as talking points for political speeches or unkept promises as previous governments may have done. Members, it is important that you are proud of your party. And I say that because we have a sound record in government. Over the last 4 years, the Progressive Labor Party government has not just talked about change. We have delivered changes that have long been talked about. Let me give you some examples. For years, Bermudians have discussed education reform and talked about the need for a trade school. This government is delivering education reform with signature schools that will start in 2022 with a trades signature program at the Cedarbridge Academy to prepare the next generation of Bermudian tradesmen and tradeswomen. For years, Bermudians have discussed healthcare reform, but this government has delivered on that reform, ensuring that health insurance premiums don't go to health insurers' profits, but to our hospital. We have passed laws to regulate the price of prescription drugs. And next year, as part of our economic recovery plan, we will pilot a new healthcare plan, which will be the basis for universal healthcare in Bermuda. For years, Bermudians have spoken about the need for more banks in Bermuda. This government is delivering by attracting new banks to our shores to provide competition for businesses that use banking services, but most importantly, for Bermudians who need lower interest rates. For years, Bermudians have talked about economic diversification, but this government has delivered, despite the naysayers, with Bermuda becoming a recognized leader in fintech, which has seen new companies arrive on our shores, bringing new jobs for Bermudians. For years, Bermudians have spoken about immigration reform, but this government has modernized our immigration system without rancor and without protest, while also diligently protecting the rights of Bermudians. Since 2005 in Bermuda, we have discussed a shoreside facility to increase income for our fishermen and to ensure that Bermuda earns more revenue from our oceans. Your PLP government is making this 16-year-old plan that has been stuck on a bookshelf a reality. For years, Bermudians have been talking about renewable energy, but this government is delivering by replacing the government fleet with electric vehicles, purchasing electric buses, installing solar panels to government buildings, and installing electric vehicle charging stations. For years, Bermudians have spoken about the need for tax reform. Your Progressive Labor Party government has delivered. We cut payroll taxes for workers to the lowest level in history, while ensuring that large business owners paid a portion of their dividends to support our necessary investments in health and education. No longer does the cashier pay a higher percentage of their income in taxes to the wealthy business owner. Pay a higher proportion of income in taxes than the wealthy business owner. Under this PLP government, we have delivered a more fair tax system. Persons making $48,000 a year have seen their annual payroll tax bill decrease by $1,320 a year, or 58%. That is right. We have cut taxes for workers by 58%. These are the reasons why members should be proud of the record of this Progressive Labor Party government. Bermuda's economic recovery plan came from the Progressive Labor Party, its members and supporters who got involved. Our platform pledges from the last election were assessed independently and the top 31 projects which were best aligned to deliver economic growth for Bermuda and to restore balance to our public finances are what your Progressive Labor Party government is focused on delivering. Our economic recovery plan is not just my plan. It is our plan. It is Bermuda's plan, and its execution must be a collective effort. The more people who get involved and help us in executing a plan that will drive our country's economic recovery from the impact of the pandemic, the more collective progress that we will make. We are executing Bermuda's economic recovery plan to bring about the changes our people called for and need. As we continue our work, you will not hear many new promises from us, just as you're not hearing them tonight. But you will hear, see, and feel the impact of us executing on the plan that we laid out for this country. The successful execution of our economic recovery plan is not just about ticking the boxes and patting ourselves on the back. It is about preparing our country for the future. It is about ensuring that we give our children a Bermuda that is more equitable, more affordable, and provides them with the resources they need to achieve their personal and professional goals. It is about reducing the cost of living and making structural changes in our economy that will ensure that Bermuda's growth benefits all Bermudians. Rebuilding Bermuda with Bermudians at heart was not and is not just an election slogan. It represents the values that we bring to the execution of the economic recovery plan. However, in order to continue to do that successfully and to see through the work that still needs to be done, we need you to get involved. Change is easier if all Bermudians do our part by getting involved. Whether it is through political service or community service, get involved and help us to continue delivering on the promises we made to the people of Bermuda and to execute Bermuda's economic recovery plan that will enhance the lives of Bermudians. And that's where I want to end tonight. Execution and progress is hampered when persons stand on the sidelines and watch. Transformational change cannot come from posting on social media or forwarding WhatsApp messages in group chats. Change does not come from tagging your member of parliament on Twitter. That is not what is needed from the young people of this country to build your future. For the change that you want to see happen, you must get involved. This means that you must get involved in how laws are actually changed in Bermuda. It means that you, like I did 17 years ago, should get involved in the work of the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party. You can get involved at your local branch level, supporting residents in your constituency. You can get involved in the discussions on government policy so that the decisions for your future reflect the views of future generations. I am calling on the next generation of leaders to get involved and get ready to take ownership for the future of this country. In Bermuda, we often hear people say, we need to have an honest conversation. Well, Bermuda, let me give you some honesty. Our country, like many around the world, coming out of this pandemic, is in a very difficult space. And there will be demanding times ahead. And it is likely that things will get worse before they get better. However, the challenges ahead of us can only defeat us if we choose to face them as individuals rather than a community and a unified country. My brothers and sisters, a Kenyan proverb states that sticks in a bundle are unbreakable. To me, this means that when we come together, there is no challenge too great for us to overcome. Yes, change is uncomfortable, and talking about making changes brings nerves and unease. Challenging the status quo and going beyond your comfort zone normally does. Family, and I'll be honest with you, it makes me a little bit nervous too. But Bermuda, we cannot stand still. We cannot keep talking about the good old days. We must build a new future. And just like a signature school for trades will equip the tradesmen of the future, we need the commitment of each and every Bermudian across all sectors of our community to get involved to help your government build that future. If we choose to act collectively, to get involved, to take ownership, and fight for the future of our country through action and not just words, we will see a better Bermuda and a brighter future on the horizon. So, as I close, Progressive Labor Party delegates and members, and to the Bermudians who may be watching, who may not yet be a member of this party, I challenge you, do not just sit on the sidelines. Join the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party. Go to our website, www.plp.bm, to become a member of the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party. Join us, add your voice, and get involved in planning Bermuda's future. Connect with voters in your circle and represent their voice so that the Progressive Labor Party's policies are addressing their needs. I encourage everyone listening tonight to get involved with the work of making this country better for all Bermudians. It is my firm belief that if we are unified in that purpose and resolute in our collective effort to see our plans through, we will create a better Bermuda for ourselves today and an even greater Bermuda for our children tomorrow. Thank you, and I wish this conference much success over the next few days as we discuss the future of our country.
Thank you, Mr. Premer. I did enjoy Premer's speech tonight. Premer always speaks well, always. One thing I didn't like, he did say things are gonna get harder before they get better. Why? It's been hard for the last 2 years. Why does it have to get harder? But he has to say that, and I do understand where he's coming from because I'm a smart person. So if we don't act and do what's needed, then we will see some tough times ahead, as we've already experienced for the last 2 years. But I just want to thank the Premer. Like I said, he speaks so well. It's so nice to see him, not on a press conference. I'm with him live. I'm with the Premer. Ain't nobody questioning. I'm going to question him after this. You may not see that on video. But I just want to thank you all for tuning in to the 56th Annual PLP Delegates Conference. We also like to thank Party Pass for making it happen, for your viewing pleasure. My name is Nadanja. I just want to thank our major sponsors. We'd like to thank the Lindos group of companies, ES Marketing, Apan, Overnight Construction, Medical House, the Premier and Party Leader, the Honorable E. David Burt, Island Construction, VaVa Entertainment, Flowers by GiMi, Moneygram, Tings, and Sensational Delights. Thank you once again for tuning in, and please support the PLP in any way that you can. Have a good night.
Phenomenal People's community outreach includes the Dream Girls Club mentoring program that positions young women to dream big dreams and awards scholarships to support them on their way to junior college. The program is for girls 9 through 17 and is held at the Bermuda Youth Library. Our two new fatherhood initiatives include a 24/7 dad workshop and chat adventures for dads who desire to improve in their role and to spend quality time with their children. Visit our website, phenomenalpeoplebda.com, for details on how you can get involved. Or email us at info@phenomenalpeoplebda.com, or you can call us at 734